You're listening to the AstroMommy Daily Horoscope, a forecast that hopes to shine a light in the dark, helping us all see where we've been, where we are, and where we're going. Whether you're a first-time listener or a long-time subscriber, thanks for being here. I truly appreciate you being in the AstroMommy community. I hope you enjoyed today's horoscope and card reading. If you would like to support the AstroMommy Newsletter, there are several ways to do so. Subscribe on Substack, share it with a friend, schedule a reading, check out my family's Etsy shop, Metaphysical Flamingo, or just leave a tip. Without further ado, here is the Daily Horoscope. Last day of July and a full moon to kick off August. Time to harvest. Daily horoscope for Monday and Tuesday, July 31st through August 1st, 2023. Good morning, friends. Here we are on the last day of July. Tomorrow is August 1st. Rabbit, rabbit. That's good luck for the month. And tomorrow is the full moon in Aquarius, too, which means that the word poems are due for our lunar poetry ritual here on AstroMommy. I'm looking forward to sharing my poem with you all tomorrow and reading yours if you decide to share, so keep an eye out for that post tomorrow morning. The full moon will technically occur at 2:31 p.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday, which means that tonight, tomorrow, and Wednesday night it will appear very full. It's also supposed to be a supermoon because it will be closer to the Earth, and therefore when it rises over the horizon, it will appear very large and bright in the sky. There will be another supermoon on August 30th, 2023, when the full moon will be in Pisces, and this one will be at the biggest and brightest of the year. So we have two full moons in August, and both are supermoons. Wow, right? Also, last Saturday, my husband and I saw the movie Sound of Freedom, with free tickets generously provided by Angel Studios. This was a very intense, heartbreaking movie that everyone should go and see, but I'm not going to lie, it was not easy to watch. It's about a Homeland Security officer whose job was to put pedophiles in jail, but he realized after arresting close to 300 pedophiles that he hadn't directly saved a single child. So he decides to start doing that and ends up saving hundreds of children. It's a true story about the case that started it all, reuniting a trafficked brother and sister with their father. It is a tragic story, yet motivating at the same time, and thankfully does describe a situation that ended with a happy ending. It exposes the ugly truth that there are more children in sex slavery today than there were slaves when slavery was legal. We got free tickets from the link below if you're interested. Please share with as many people as you know. It is important that we get this information out there so we can change this awful truth. Okay, let's get into the astrology. On Monday, the biggest transits of the day will be the moon squaring the nodes and conjoining Pluto by 10:12 p.m. Eastern Time, and then ingressing into the sign of Aquarius 3 minutes before midnight. The moon squaring the nodes always is a point of action or represents a concrete event taking place that moves your piece forward on the game board, so you can expect some progressive movement today. The moon conjunct Pluto is touchy, edgy, and can be a bit uncomfortable. The moon in Capricorn is in her detriment and therefore feels a bit foreign and out of place. The moon represents our nurturing sides, our emotions, and how we mother ourselves and others. And in Capricorn, it's all about the bottom line. What gets results, and our business acumen comes out. We don't operate because of deep emotions when the moon is in Capricorn, but rather a place of goals, results-driven approaches, and management. When the moon meets up with Pluto, no matter the sign, she has to face deep fears, hidden emotions, and whatever ugliness she's swept under the rug as of late. So we may come in contact with emotions, experiences, and circumstances that we'd rather not talk about resurfacing on Monday. Maybe some of the other transits leading up to this will give us some cushioning. Let's go over them one by one to find out. Monday morning at 5:37 a.m. Eastern Time, the moon in Capricorn forms a sesquiquadrate to Mercury in Virgo, indicating that we've communicated something and now we are waiting for it to get underway. It's like placing an order with the universe and now we are waiting for it to be produced. We've received some signs that our order was accepted, now we just have to be patient and wait. At 8:01 a.m. Eastern Time, the moon makes a square to Chiron in Aries. Maybe we've had some definitive ideas concerning our identities and we feel there are actual steps to take to move those forward. This transit suggests that today you may actually take those steps. The moon in Capricorn perfects a semi-square to Saturn in Pisces at 9:17 a.m. Eastern Time. We could feel like we have serious limitations or boundaries that are causing some delays and setbacks to our business plans. No worries, just be patient and do the next thing on the list. Eventually, you'll get there. By noon, the moon will form a trine to Uranus and Taurus, and this could feel like something shocking slides into your lap that makes you do a double take or easily decide to change your direction for the day. Monday evening, before the moon squares the nodes, conjoins Pluto, and then ingresses into Aquarius, she forms a quincunx to Venus in Leo retrograde, a sextile to Neptune in Pisces, and a sesquiquadrate to Mars in Virgo. First, we may realize there is something in our relationships that we previously valued that we are done with and want to change or let go of. Second, we may feel that this realization is positive and feels in tune and in alignment and therefore feels right. Third, now that we've sorted all that out, it may feel like it is time to take action on this new direction, and we may take a few steps forward only to find we hit a snag, roadblock, or stop sign. This transit dance reminds me of my dream of painting a few of the rooms in my house this summer, a very Venus-type thing, wanting to update the aesthetic of something and make it more beautiful and pleasant, and painting a room really does do this. But all summer I have been met with delays in achieving this, and now it seems that the time is coming closer, but there are still a lot of things I need to do first before I can actually paint a single stroke. So it's like, I know that I am done with the current wall color and vibe, Moon Quincunx Venus, and I am ready to have my dream of fresh paint and a new feeling environment, and I have even picked out the colors, Moon Sextile Neptune. But there are still tasks I need to do first, Moon Sesquiquadrate Mars. At 9:37 p.m. Eastern Time, the moon in Capricorn squares the nodes, conjoins Pluto at 10:12 p.m., and then ingresses into Aquarius at 11:57 p.m. Eastern Time. As I said in the beginning, these are the transits that are the most prominent for the day. So Monday is about taking action on things that will move you forward in the right direction. It's also about facing your fears and some of your deep feelings, and then coming out feeling a little reborn, a little refreshed, and ready to integrate this new knowledge. The moon in Aquarius is good at integrating new knowledge. For one of the things that Aquarius is excellent at is acquiring new information and using it as inspiration for innovative thinking, which usually leads to solutions that work for everyone. Aquarius is a sign that is known for its intelligent, unorthodox thinking and strategizing. It takes a detached look at the situation and then makes plans that are good for the team or group. By doing this, it sets itself apart from the rest, even though it is not trying to be the star of the show like Leo, but rather a black sheep that says there's a better way to do things that will benefit the whole herd. On Tuesday, there are 3 major transits that I want to focus on instead of the play-by-plays: the full moon in Aquarius, Mars trine Jupiter, and Mercury opposite Saturn. We can see all of the important transits for Tuesday in this full moon chart, so I will hone in on those transits as I delineate the chart. First, the full moon will perfect at 2:31 p.m. Eastern Time. You can see the full moon in the chart below with the sun at the top of the chart at 9 degrees Leo, 15 minutes, and the moon opposite that at the bottom of the chart at 9 degrees Aquarius, 15 minutes. The first striking thing to me about this full moon chart is that the moon is in the 4th house of home and family. And 2 weeks ago, we had the new moon in Cancer, which is all about home and family. The full moon is a time when we are reflecting on the intentions we set out at the new moon and picking the ripe fruit, so to speak. We may be experiencing a peak moment or a culmination point in regard to those intentions, or we may be feeling like we didn't achieve our goals. Whichever the case, the full moon is a time when we get to reap the rewards of our hard work so far. Secondly, another interesting thing about this full moon chart is that the midheaven, MC, is conjoined with the fixed star Regulus, which in very simple terms stands for courage. And I think it is very fitting for this cycle. We must have the courage going forward. Whatever seeds you planted 2 weeks ago regarding home, family, and what makes you feel comfortable, you are now seeing the bounty of your hard work, and you need to have the courage to accept what has been accomplished and produced. I feel that the MC conjunct Regulus, along with Venus in the 10th house, up at the top of the chart, co-present with the sun, all in Leo, are all good omens that this full moon will feel more joyful and regal, and that all the hard work you've put into whatever you've been putting your energy into has been well worth it. Jupiter is also in a prominent position, being in the 7th house of relationships in this chart, on the right-hand side, and closely conjoined the part of fortune. This too is a good omen for relationships and prosperous business dealings. Thirdly, Mars is trine Jupiter, which is also a positive aspect, and that the trine is of the nature of Jupiter, so it brings an easy cascade of abundance, prosperity, and benefits. Mars in Virgo is like a talented surgeon who is able to cut very precisely to the root of something and remove it before it causes any more trouble. I feel that this is what this transit is representing, something being cut out that was causing strife or disharmony, and because of this thing being removed, there is great relief and a sense of restored health. The hardest aspect during this full moon is the last and final thing I want to talk about, which is Mercury in an exact opposition to Saturn in Pisces. Mercury in Virgo suggests that there is a lot of work to be done to achieve our dreams, and it's detailed, nitty-gritty work that will involve being industrious and organized. We will have the mental acuity and logical know-how to achieve this because Mercury is both at home and exalted in Virgo, so it's the very best placement for Mercury, especially when we need to be detail-oriented and practical. Mercury is also co-present with Mars, who is in a trine with Jupiter, as we've already discussed, and so I think this may give us great energy and drive to do the hard work needed to receive the benefits. The only caution is being too perfectionistic or critical in our analyses and production, so we need to keep this in mind. Mercury opposite Saturn is challenging in that it represents conversations that are serious, hard, and require great compromise. Decisions have to be made this full moon that will impact your environment, your mindset, and your message. These decisions will be organized, utilitarian, and completely unfiltered. If Venus in Leo symbolizes making everything look and feel glamorous, Mercury in Virgo is a lot more like taking a minimalist approach. For example, it's like Venus in Leo wants to decorate the house with a bunch of beautiful decor items, and Mercury in Virgo is asking, what actual function does this piece have, if any? So it's getting down to business with what we are allowing in our environments and our hearts that we really care about caring for. And this can be objects, people, ways of thinking, behaving, and even the systems we use to manage our lives. It has to be beautiful and serve a purpose. Mercury opposite Saturn is forcing us to limit how many things we care for in our environments, hearts, and heads. It's a major pruning, but usually, if you prune a plant, it grows back fuller and produces more for you in the long run, and it is the shape that you want. And that is the goal, right? The full moon in Aquarius is allowing us to step back and detach ourselves just enough that we can see the best shape for our regal Venusian dreams, deciding what we want in our environments, relationships, and public image. And then Mercury opposite Saturn, along with Mars trine Jupiter, is enabling us to make the hard decisions and then act on them in a way that has a beneficial outcome. Let's move on to the card for the day. What is the guidance for today? Ace of Swords. On this card, we see a hand emerging from a cloud holding a double-edged sword. At the top of the sword is a crown and foliage draping out of the sides, representing success and triumph. In the background, there are mountains, which indicate the possibility of a bumpy road ahead. The Ace of Swords represents a new beginning. Since the swords are symbolic of communication, thoughts, and intellect, this could be a new way of thinking, a new way of communicating, or a new idea that comes to you. The double-edged sword represents that whatever you are thinking about cuts both ways, meaning that it will affect an external situation as well as an internal one. So as the card for the day, this symbolizes having a mental breakthrough, getting clear about something, or starting a new conversation with someone about a topic that's been on your mind. This seems very fitting since we have Mercury in an opposition to Saturn on Tuesday, getting really clear and serious about what we think about something and needing to make a decision that may feel really final and fatalistic. We may have to cut something out that is no longer serving us in order for the abundance and prosperity we want to flourish and grow. It's also the full moon, which is about harvesting what you planted. And I find this really interesting because Saturn rules over agriculture and harvesting, and some synonyms for harvesting are reaping, gathering, picking, mowing, etc. So this harvesting is positive and represents abundance, even though it is also reducing what is on the plant. It's in a sense moving the abundance from one container to another. So we may need to move things around with this energy so that it serves a better purpose in our lives or in someone else's. Saturn also symbolizes trash, refuse, and waste. And what's the saying? One man's trash is another man's treasure. I think that is the main sentiment going on here, and this could be literal or figurative, of course. Let me know if this reading resonates with you in the comments. I hope this is helpful. Until Wednesday, AstroMommy.
Thank you for reading or listening to the Daily Horoscope. Quick links and resources can be found at the bottom of the newsletter. Today's card was pulled from the Morgan-Greer Deck, available on Amazon. If you seek knowledge and enlightenment, the AstroMommy Newsletter may be right for you. Side effects of reading or listening to the AstroMommy Newsletter are common and include joy, jubilation, delight, happiness, gratitude, love, triumph, feeling in tune with the universe, experiencing deep insights, reflections, and contemplations, a lightened soul, a lighter step, feeling awake when others are asleep, illuminated, enlightened, having spiritual experiences, noticing repeating numbers, animals in nature, or songs on the radio that speak to you, getting vibes, clairvoyance, clairaudience, and clairsmelliance, feeling like you know secret language, biophilia, crying tears of joy, emotional literacy, feeling lively, stable, exalted, having an auric glow, or feeling like you woke up on the right side of the bed have all been reported. If you purchase anything through the affiliate links that I provide in the newsletters, I will make a very small commission. Thanks for listening.